Hello, I'm Edward from Random Romania, and we're here with a guest, Daryl from South Africa, who's come over here in a camper with his wife. And this is going to be an interview about what he thinks about Romania and what he's intending to do here. Just something I want to mention is we're now sponsored, or this video is now sponsored by a company called Kit Off Grid, who sell solar power systems and particularly upcycled EV battery systems for exactly the kind of project we're building here with the off-grid cabins. This is Daryl, and first of all, Daryl, you've been in Romania a couple of days, I believe, right? What's your first impressions?
Right, Edward. So we basically live just outside Cape Town in South Africa, and my wife and I are relatively keen on travel generally. So it's not a case of just wanting to get out of South Africa. It's also a case of looking at our options in other parts of the world. But Romania particularly became attractive to us because we've got a friend who came here many years ago, married a Romanian guy, and she's spoken very highly of it as an ex-South African. And so that intrigued us. The other thing is my wife is German, and we tend to favor more countries that are not as regulated. So the Central European countries feel a little bit regulated. We come from a country that's not highly regulated, and we would be attracted to these kind of countries. So that's what brought us here. And so we're traveling around and having a look at stuff with completely new eyes. We refer to it as an LSD trip. We're on an LSD trip. It's look, see, and decide. Okay. And you know, it's as much not about, as I say, leaving South Africa necessarily. It's about having another life adventure in another country. That is a place we could feel comfortable in. And so that's the thing. We've only been here a few days, but we have traveled quite a lot already around, and it feels very, very interesting. And I mean that in a very positive way. It's a country that is still developing. It's a country that's changing. It's growing. You can feel that there's the old ways. People that have been doing things for a long time may or may not change. There's a different generation that wants to change. You can feel that when you see people next to the road, when you see them in restaurants, there's a lot of movement here. It's a country that feels a lot more alive than some of the European countries that we would have visited in the last 20 years in our travels. So that appeals to us quite a lot, is that there's possibly opportunities here, that not everything is here, not every franchise is here, not every business has been done. Maybe there's opportunities to start a business here without too many rules stopping you and without killing entrepreneurialism as we find in some of the countries that we've looked at. So that's how we ended up here. Positive reviews, and then just basically trying to read up and then following your channel. That was a big thing for my wife earlier this year, you know.
How long have you been following our channel for? And just tell me a bit about your interaction with our channel, because that's kind of interesting for us, because we're curious about what particularly got you interested in it, what you found interesting about what we were saying on the channel in general, the general message.
Right. So one of the things that it started off, as I say, with the positive review about Romania from friends, and then looking for channels like this. One of the things that appealed to my wife, who then got hold of me, she first saw the first videos that you guys had done, and it felt honest. There was this openness. There wasn't this desire to try and create something that's not there. It was a case of, this is what we've got, this is what we're doing. We're looking for like-minded people. It was the sense of creating a new community as well. Now, we're at that stage of our lives where we would like to be part of a new community. We're considering that still in South Africa in terms of setting up a community of people that are not necessarily city-bound, that have got some skills that can look after themselves and become a lot more self-sufficient, kind of this concept of off-the-grid living. So that's what appealed to us. And the fact that, obviously it made it easier because you were speaking English. If it was a Romanian, it would have been harder for us. But it's certainly the openness of the channel and the information that was given quite freely, which sometimes you really got to dig for that. So that was really refreshing for us,
And without going into too much detail, because I'm sure there's a bit of a political angle to it, but what are you concerned about? I mean, I'm thinking you probably want to stay in South Africa if you could, but what is it that's making you think that you don't see a long-term future there? Just a basic idea.
So it's a sensitive topic. One of the things we don't like is when South Africans emigrate, how they trash South Africa or any country. When immigrants leave, that is their decisions. They have to live with that and go with that. I've myself have lived in a number of countries, and it's never easy to immigrate. It's a big decision. You're starting from scratch. Nobody's been waiting for you to say, here's a job when you get here, etc. So it's no joke. And there are cultural differences. Don't think because you're moving to an English-speaking country that you're going to be okay. I've done that. You still have cultural differences with those people. But some of the things, for us, it's just a concern with the future. I mean, South Africa is still a fantastic place to live with huge opportunities, but we just are concerned about what it will look like in 10 to 15, maybe 20 years when we're not able to work or, and we're not able to surmount some of the problems that are there. But it's, again, I just want to stress every country has problems. Each person has to decide at what level they would like to go and live somewhere else. For us, it's as much a desire to go and keep adventuring and have a different life experience as it is any issues in South Africa. And there are many people in South Africa that would never leave. It's going to be home, and it is home, and it always has been. And that's great. We respect that. But as I say, we'd like to experience more things on this planet before it's all over, So I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's very good. It's interesting because I had a few other South Africans contact me, but no one's actually been over here yet. So it's very nice to meet a South African couple, because I'm sure other South Africans that are watching this video now, one of them escapes and he's here and he's having a look around and kind of likes it. So that's cool. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind explaining? I'm curious.
Right. I'm actually in IT and have been for a long time. I'm actually a developer. There was a time I was in the middle, we had our own company, myself and my two brothers, and I went back to development sort of 10 years ago just because I enjoy writing code and that sort of thing. So I do, pure development currently in the SAP landscape. And I'd like to keep doing that because I enjoy it. And, luckily, one of the positive aspects of the whole COVID thing was that remote work became more feasible, and companies latched onto that. Managers in companies realized that people can be measured on their output, not their physical presence, So I'm hoping to continue to be able to do that for as long as possible.
What attracted you to our channel was the whole talk of building an off-grid community of like-minded people. In your mind, what would be your kind of ideal community? What would you like to have, and specifically not like to have, and try and be as honest as possible as that one, because everybody's going to be interested in that.
Well, I mean, this is just my point of view and where we are in our life at the moment. But so for us, the positive aspects, well, let's start with the negatives and move over to the positives. So the negative aspects would be, we don't want people to force their religion on us, or their belief systems, or their norms, their customs, and their cultures. Even though those things are important, we would like people who think the same, etc. And by that I mean, we'd like to be able to have control over what we eat. If we want to grow vegetables, if we want to keep some chickens, etc., we'd like to be able to do that. We'd like to have control over the water quality that we have. We'd like our own electricity, so that we're not dependent on municipalities that may or may not be delivering, the quality that we want. And then the freedom to practice our pastimes and that, so like, I like playing electric guitar. I want to be able to play, but I don't want to irritate my neighbors. So we need some distance. They might want to do pottery and have a machine that makes a noise, or a kiln that's hot or in the way or something. So the idea is to really give people the freedom to be who they want, but not impinge on each other in any way. So some distance and some understanding and some acceptance, but extremism, probably not,
My idea about this is basically to have, when I say like-minded people, the things I'm interested in is to have trustworthy neighbours, so we can look after each other's properties, and like you said, some distance between us so we can have our own privacy. I think community of like-minded people as opposed to some kind of commune, and just about being around nice, civilised people who are trustworthy and keep to their word. So if I say, okay, I'm going away for a month, you guys keep an eye on my house, that I know they're going to. They're not just going to say it, this kind of thing. Security is not really a massive issue, but it is an issue. You can't leave a house empty for a month at a time. Someone needs to keep especially the more remote you get, someone needs to keep an eye on it, and just solving that problem would be nice for me. There's lots of stuff I like about Romanians and living in Romania, but finding people who are serious and reliable about stuff is a little bit tough. I don't know if that's because I'm a foreigner or not. So anyway, one final question. In terms of what you see around here, does this look like a good place for a base for you, or would you like something more remote? What have you got in mind?
So the countryside looks really nice. The combination of open fields, trees, mountains, etc. That looks great to us. We might have to, in the shorter term, be closer to, an international airport or somewhere where I might be able to still have access to the kind of businesses that I still get income from. Current contractor. So, that might be an issue for us. But certainly in terms of where it is, the locality and the vegetation and the proximity, it's really nice here. It looks really good. There seems to be a lot of water, good soil. I mean, from what I know about soil as an IT person, but it seems like the right kind of environment, and lots of vegetation, trees, etc. That's all good. So yeah, we'll have to explore more. I mean, it's early days for us. We've got a lot to learn, and we'd like to do that. And hopefully you guys keep making videos so we can.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks very much. That's really cool. Really appreciate that. And we'll be back with another video very soon. Thanks for watching again. And we will put the kit off grid details of their offers and what we're doing in the description of the video. And if you're interested, particularly if you're South Africans and are interested in what's been said here, please just comment on the video below and request my contact details, and I'll happily talk to you directly. And that's it. Bye for now, and thanks very much.